So a misnomer is that estate planning is just for the wealthy, and that's just flat out not true. The estate plan process really is a process to set up some prerequisite documents that every individual should have. First, talk about the will. The will is really the instrument that designates what happens to your assets upon your passing. And so if you pass away, what happens to your home? What happens to your favorite guitar, your pair of skis, your baseball card collection, whatever it might be? Who do you want to have those assets when you pass away? That's the will. Durable power of attorney is another document that every individual should have. If there's a decision that needs to be made on your behalf and you're unavailable or out of the country, maybe there is some type of signature that's required, you can appoint a power of attorney through a document called durable power of attorney, so that business can be transacted while you're not available. Finally, what happens if you become unconscious or a health event happens? There is a document that's called a healthcare power of attorney, where you can designate a person of your choosing to have the power of attorney to make healthcare decisions on your behalf while you're not able, and give some direction, some directive to that individual so that it makes their decision process very, very minimal. Your wishes are already set out, they know what to do, and then they execute on your behalf. I think the biggest mistake that we see with estate planning is that folks don't do it early and often, meaning they drag their feet to get started. This is human nature, frankly. It's a topic or a subject area that we don't really like to think about, what happens in the end. But there are two things that are certain in this world. You hear it all the time: death and taxes. Estate planning can help with both of those items upon someone's passing. It's the appropriate pathway and plan to achieve your objectives and carry out your wishes after you've passed. And for tax planning purposes, there are some tax efficiencies that you and your team of professionals can analyze and build into that process. The second really mistake is if people don't invest in the process. And by investing in the process, I mean, number one, obviously hiring a team of professionals to handle it on their behalf. This is not really a process that you can DIY or do it yourself, or one that you shouldn't, at least. But number two, and maybe more importantly, investing in the process. What I mean by that is understanding the value of what's being achieved. There are a lot of misnomers around estate planning, mainly due to the terminology. Folks say, well, I don't have an estate, so I don't need to plan for it. But you do. If you have any assets whatsoever, you have a personal estate that would be created upon your passing. And you're trying to line things up or take care of business, not just for you, but really for your heirs, for your loved ones, so that upon your passing, your decisions have already been made, and it makes their lives in the process much easier. There are two schools of thought here. Number one is, I'll deal with it tomorrow. I won't deal with it now. And what happens there is it becomes a more complicated process, more complex, takes more time, more consumption of energy, and more expensive. This is really true with anything in life, but particularly with estate planning. The second school of thought, which is the one we prefer, which is plan early and often, is to be efficient on the front end while you're alive, before there's a health event, before you have to be in a situation that a probate court or something like that is brought in to settle your estate. Planning early and often is going to be quicker, faster, cheaper, and set you up for success, so that there's not a complex or complicated or convoluted process that happens through the probate court or likewise after your passing. Your estate plan is a living and breathing document. You execute it once, and then you put it in a drawer and you never look at it again. That's one way of practicing. The better practice would be to revisit your estate plan at least on an annual basis with your team of advisors. The reason being is life comes at you pretty fast, and you have to change with it. We make changes on a day-to-day basis. Who our internet provider is, what current cell phone sits in your pocket, what car you're driving, what's your favorite pair of tennis shoes. I mean, these decisions happen all the time. I think it's only appropriate to assume that the decisions you make on day one in your estate plan may not be there 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road. So it's important to revisit these things and update your will when you have a chance.